this is actually going to be take number 2 of my first video ever. Just didn't like the first one. Sound quality wasn't that great. Just didn't like a lot of the edits, so I'm going to redo it. Basically what it's going to be is just a tour of my 2011 Freightliner Cascadia, my work truck, where I live, during the week at least. Just go over some of the features and some of the little extras that I've added to make life easier out on the road. Okay, first thing we're going to start out with is the instrument gauge. That's going to show my volts, oil pressure, water temperature, air pressures, speed, tach, air pressure for brakes for my tractor and trailer, and of course the fuel gauge that unfortunately has what's called DEF included with it, which is diesel exhaust fluid. Kind of a pain in the butt, but I guess it is good for the environment, so they've started putting that on trucks. One thing that's bad though is if something goes wrong with your DEF system, the truck will start to degrade. First thing it does, it gives you indicator lights down there, right about there. They're supposed to be all green, but once it starts getting low, or if the engine starts to degrade, it'll go down to 55 miles per hour. Can't go any faster. And at that point, you kind of want to leave your truck running, because if you turn it on, if you turn it off, then start back out, you might not go faster than 5 miles per hour, as I found out the hard way up in Michigan on Christmas Eve day. But luckily I'm with a good company. They actually came and rescued me. They towed up another truck for me and towed mine back, and even got me a load going home, and I was able to get home by Christmas Eve. So yeah, I was very, very appreciative of that. AM, FM, CD, radio. Very rarely do I ever listen to the radio part of it, because I have it hooked up to my Android Samsung Galaxy Mega, which also is a GPS, everything. I mean, I don't know what I'd do out here without that. I do use Google Maps, so all you truckers out there, don't start having a heart attack going, oh my God, he's going to run under a bridge. No, I check the routes. I've been with the company long enough to pretty much know where I'm heading to, where the low bridges are, where the restricted routes are, and everything. If I do get something new, I check it out on the atlas and make sure I'm not riding or driving on roads I shouldn't be, and making sure I'm not running into bridges, because that makes for a bad day trying to deliver a bridge. Down here we have our tractor and trailer air supplies. You have hazard lights there. You have a little footwell light, and then that's to brighten or dim the instrument gauges. You have a DEF switch, engine override, the shutdown override switch. What that does, these Freightliners sometimes, if something's going wrong, like if you're low on coolant or if some major fault has happened, it'll shut down the engine on you just to protect itself, which that's not a good thing if you're in rush hour traffic on I-35 coming out of Dallas, as I found out. So if you hit that, that'll override and give you time to get somewhere safely parked. You got mirror heat there, switch that on, and you can actually heat the mirrors. So if there's getting foggy or icy or something like that, it'll melt that right off. Engine brake on the left side there, high, low, medium. Dome lights, that's for the back of the cab. Utility lamp, that's going to be for the back of my cab on the exterior. That'll light up where I'm hooking up my electrical lines and brake lines and everything. You have your thermostat controls, air conditioning, heat. Right here you have your fifth wheel lock. that will basically kind of make it a four-wheel drive vehicle in a way, you know, if you get stuck or if you need some more traction getting under a trailer. And then you can drop your airbags with that bottom switch, which makes it easy to uncouple from a trailer. This is kind of a general overview picture of the inside of the cab, the front part, what that looks like and everything. Pretty spacey. That's what I do like about them. There's all sorts of room in them. I know this is pretty self-explanatory. Steering wheel. Over here on the left side you have your cruise control. Down here the plus and minus. That's to scroll through error messages and things like that. That signal or those messages come up in that little box. Now scroll through them. That way you can get error codes if you need to. That controls your engine brake right there. That is what I call the thank you lights. When you press that, it'll basically flash all your marker lights. Usually we use those if somebody passes, or if we pass somebody and we need to thank them for flashing us and letting us over and everything. Kind of the courteous thing to do. One good thing about the Freightliners is there is plenty of storage. You have storage up there, all across the top. That's my Bluetooth unit. Very handy to have, since it is illegal to talk on a cell phone on the road without hands-free. More storage up there, and then we can shoot down, and all sorts of compartments. My Cobra CB with Bluetooth, and more compartments. Okay, moving towards the back, we do have more compartments here. This is going to be the closet. More storage room in there. A little work area with a pull-out desk I can do my paperwork on. The bed, obviously. It is a condo cab, so if I have a trainee or if somebody wants to be a passenger and go with me for a week or whatever, that bed right there pulls on down. Makes it a dual bunk. More storage right here. Pretty much keep food, things like that in there. Down here, I've got a Coleman Igloo refrigerator. Operates by 12 volt. They work pretty good. They keep things nice and cold. The only downfall seems like their life expectancy is about 1 year. Usually after that they go out, so you gotta spend money to get a new one. Typically around anywhere from $100 to $125, depending on if you get a truck stop or a Walmart. But they do work pretty good. Okay, what I'm showing now is TV that I have. A must-have usually for truck drivers. Some can live without it. I can't. I like to watch football, movies. I'm a real movie buff and everything. So when you're loading or unloading, and sometimes you end up in a place where they just can't get you out of there for 24 hours. Very handy to catch up on some TV or movies. I've got a Chromecast hooked up to it, so I can get my Netflix and YouTube. You can stream Pandora, a little bit of everything with Chromecast. I like it. You do have to have a pretty good internet connection for that to work right, but most places now seem to be moving to 4G. Also, that little silver box right there, that's a Toshiba 1 terabyte hard drive. And basically what you do over here, go to My Media, go down to Drive 1, and my nice little collection of movies. Probably have close to 500 movies on here. Like I said, makes it real handy when you're getting loaded and things like that. You're laid over, stuck somewhere. So that's basically the grand tour of the 2011 Freightliner Cascadia. I'm getting unloaded right now here in Indianapolis, and my boss man Joe, a very, very good dispatcher, got me a run out of where I'm at right now, going to Keller, Texas. He was going to get me home this weekend, and one thing I like, he checked with me first. He said, do you want to run, or do you want to go home? It's like, 800 some miles, that sounds pretty good. I'll go ahead and take the run. I'm with a very, very good company. They get you home most weekends. They don't make you, let me put it this way, they don't make you work the weekends. They'll ask if you want to take something. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, that's great. If you do that more, guess what? You get good runs because you're proving yourself, being reliable and everything. It's the only company I've ever heard of. And when I first saw this, I said, bull, what's the catch? Well, I've driven the firm for almost 2 years now. There's no catch. Your first year, you get 4 weeks paid vacation. I know. Right off the bat, you're going, yeah, what's the catch? No catch. Every 13 weeks, I believe, you get a week off. And it is paid. Now, one thing you can do also is if you want to just keep working, you still get paid. So that makes for a fairly nice check, if you do work through your vacation. And they'll give you that option about a week before your scheduled vacation. They'll send you a message saying, are you going to take vacation, or do you want to work through it? They don't put any pressure on you for working through it or whatever. Some guys will work a couple days and then go on vacation. They're real laid back. The front office is phenomenal. Dispatchers are phenomenal. It's a medium-sized company. I really like it. They do know you by your name. You're not a truck number. Matter of fact, I'll call him my dispatcher, and he's got caller ID, and he recognizes the phone number, and it's, hey Bill, right off the bat, how's it going? He's a Browns fan, but other than that, he's awesome. Sorry, Joe, I had to say that. All right, I don't know how often I can do this. Sometimes we do get pretty swamped, so I will try to get one up at least every couple days. I'm still kind of learning the editing process and all that stuff that goes along with all this, and it's kind of a work in progress, so I will see you in a couple days. Bye.